It's been almost 4 years since Garmin released the Garmin InReach Mini 2, and we just got a possible sneak peek at what the Mini 3 will look like. Garmin sent out this marketing email with a picture here of a Mini unit that has the same type of branding as the other new Garmin outdoor units, and also there is a color screen on there. Now, some people did get the same email with the current Mini 2, so I can't know if this thing I found online is real or not, but it does make a lot of sense. And my hope here is that the color menu means that there are also color maps on the Mini 3. Maybe we'll see this released for CES in January. Whenever we see it, I will keep you posted. I've shared T-Mobile's satellite service using Starlink here before in different videos, and they just did another very cool thing. Now, if you have one of the phones that's compatible with the service, but you're not a T-Mobile customer, you can still sign up to get Satellite 911 absolutely free. I think this is such a great thing, and hopefully will save some lives. They have a webpage where you can enroll, and I'll put a link to this webpage in the description underneath the video. And kudos to T-Mobile for doing something like this. They didn't have to, but again, hopefully this will save some lives. Also, in the satellite world, I saw that Overwatch and Rescue expanded their supported device list to now include some Android phones. So if you have those, you can use those with Overwatch and Rescue now as well. I got an email from Zoleo saying they're now offering a limited lifetime battery replacement warranty. So if your battery starts to die, they will send you a new or refurbished device. I thought that was a really smart thing to do, especially since it's been, I think, about 6 years since the Zoleo was first released. I'm hoping they come out with some new hardware. I think they're a good company, and I'm interested to see what they do next. A few months ago, Alltrails changed their tiers. There's a free tier, a plus tier, and a peak tier, different features in each tier. And there was some frustration around it in the online communities about how the features landed, about how they worked. And I saw that Alltrails responded to that. I thought that was a great thing. They went and posted this saying they listened to the feedback and they're going to make some changes, including allowing everyone now to use custom routes and moving the trail conditions to the Plus membership. So I thought that was a great thing. I actually use the Plus membership, recommend it to most people. It allows you to have the offline maps and also share your location as you hike, either on a cell connection or even on a T-Mobile satellite connection. If you want to get a Alltrails membership, I have a discount code that I'll put underneath here. You can get 30% off either the Peak or the Plus membership if you want to get it for yourself. Garmin updated their Topo Active map, so if you have a device that has maps on board, you might want to hook it up to Garmin Express and give it an update. These are the changes that you can expect. I will definitely take a look at those. I also saw that Google Maps was testing a black and white low power consumption map set for the Android lock screen. I thought this was a really smart idea and something that I wished Garmin would have done a while ago, maybe putting maps on something like the Garmin Instinct, just having them simple like this. Also a smart thing for apps that are using satellite data like Onyx to have a lightweight map set like this. Maybe we'll be seeing more of this in the future. I definitely think it could be helpful. Nike teased two neat innovations that we might see in the outdoors in the near future. First is something called Project Amplify, which takes the idea of the hiking exoskeleton but moves it down to your lower leg. Definitely looks a lot less clunky than those bigger exoskeletons do, and I appreciate that they say in the write-up for this that this is not for professional use. This is intended to help everyday people doing things like walking. Nike also introduced a jacket that allows you to inflate and deflate the air pockets inside to control the amount of warmth in the jacket. Again, another really smart idea that I'm surprised has not been out there already. Obviously, as applications in the outdoors, they're going to be debuting this at the 2026 Winter Olympics. I'll let you know when I see this coming out for consumers, because I think this could be really cool for the trail. If you're doing any shopping on Amazon, whether for the holidays or any time during the year, instead of typing in Amazon.com, type in HikingGuy.com/A. It will bring you to the exact same Amazon website, same prices, but I get a small commission on anything you buy, whether it's gift, hiking gear, books, toilet paper, whatever it might be. It helps me out a ton. Same thing for REI. Just type in HikingGuy.com/R. It'll bring you to REI. I depend on that at this point to keep this site alive. I don't take paid sponsorships or ads here, so I could just speak freely, tell you about things like the Garmin InReach Mini 3 so that hopefully you can spend your money wisely. And all of this helps, as does Patreon. I have free memberships, supporter memberships. All of that is basically keeping this site alive right now because in addition to not taking ads, AI is crushing me on the website. My traffic has gone down about 50% because of AI results, and AI results are basically just scraping all of my content from my site and spinning it back out to you as if it is theirs. So challenging time, but hopefully with your support, I will be able to make it into 2026 and beyond. And thank you to everyone who has helped me out so far. I could not have done it without you. I wouldn't be here without you. So thank you. Well, the government shutdown is over. Hopefully the parks will be getting back to normal in the near future or whatever they were like before the shutdown. I went to Guadalupe Mountains National Park during the shutdown. They had this sign up. Overall, it was a very similar experience to what it would be if it was open. The visitor center was open. The restrooms were clean. One of the trails was closed. They weren't collecting entry fees. But this is a pretty remote park, so I'm not sure if this is representative of the experience. If you've been to parks, maybe Zion or Yosemite or whatever it might be, let me know what your experience was so we can kind of get the no spin version of it here. I did see that Doug Burgum, who's the Interior Secretary, said that the fact that the park stayed open was a testament to the fact that they didn't need as much funding. And on the other side of the argument, there were 400 leaders at the National Park Service or former leaders who put out a statement saying that the rise of dangerous incidents was up because of the lack of people working in the parks and that they should be closed. So I don't know. Let me know what you saw and we can get the no spin version here. One other thing about the parks, I saw that there is a new glamping cabin experience opening by Yosemite and Oakhurst, which is south of there. So if you want to get lodging in Yosemite, which is always kind of challenging, Oakhurst is a good bet. Even if you want to stay in like a Holiday Inn or something, that's normally where I stay. But now you have this nice glamping option as well. Winter's coming to the mountains here in the Northern Hemisphere. People are still day hiking Mount Whitney. Maybe they're not as prepared or as experienced as they should be. I've seen rescues already, and tragically, a hiker lost his life, slipped and fell around the 99 switchback. So be careful if you're out in the mountains. Even here in Southern California, we've had snow in Mount Baldy and already rescues there. It's supposed to snow this weekend again. So if you want to go hike in the snow, maybe just find a nice flat Forest Service road where you can learn how to do it. Take a mountaineering course and stay safe. Don't be one of those fatalities because we get them every year here in the States and probably other places in the world. And let's counter that doom and gloom news with some feel-good stuff. A hiker named Betty Kellenberger became the oldest woman to finish the Appalachian Trail at age 80. So big congrats to you, Betty. I also saw a Spanish ultra runner had climbed every 14er in the lower 48 in 31 days. That's 72 mountain summits, and they even rode their bike between doing ascents. So hats off to you. That is quite an accomplishment. And some local news, Whiting Ranch was closed because a curious juvenile mountain lion was stalking some mountain bikers. Mountain biker actually lost his life here, I think about 20 years ago from a mountain lion, so be careful if you're in this area. And also, Will Rogers State Park has reopened after recovering from the Palisades fire, so I'm excited to go back up and check that out. If you've been with me for a while, you might remember a video I did about an attachment for your trekking poles to help pick up trash on the trail. It was done by a local hiker named John McShane who wanted to make a difference. Well, they did a Kickstarter. Kickstarter got funded, and I was able to interview him about what's happening next. If you still want to get one of these, you can. I'll put a link underneath the video so you can do that. But here's John giving you an update on the Cleantrek trekking pole attachment.
Kickstarter is all or nothing. So it's really, you have to be intentional about the funding target and make sure that once you have that funding, irrespective of how I'm manufacturing, whether I'm building these in my apartment, whether I'm making these overseas, whether I sell 100 or 1,000, I need to be able to supply these. And also, tariffs were also a big challenge, right? If the tariffs are 50% versus 150%, that really changes things. And I ultimately set a price tag for the full kit of $135. The way I came up with my funding goal was really like, hey, I think I could sell about 300 of these. That's kind of a reasonable amount to jumpstart the business, is about $40,000. So, took my camera out. I took a bunch of photos out in the woods, set it all up and just sort of launched it. I didn't exactly know how it was going to go. I just sort of went for it. It's kind of a wild feeling when you're watching every single day, you're watching this number go up, and it's just really exciting, right? The whole thing, you got to keep in mind, up until now, I've been doing this for 2 years without any pay of any kind. I've had no income. I've been doing this all out of my own personal savings. So seeing money behind this, like people actually want this, they're putting money behind it, they support it. It's just so validating, right? That there are other people who want tools like this, and that this can be a product and a sustainable business. Basically, how it's going to go is it's kind of like a tiered thing, right? Like everyone who did the Kickstarter gets their product first. Once that first stage is kind of done, I do plan to start selling on my website. That's kind of the next phase. And with that, the goal is to lower the price too, like make it more affordable for people. I mean, maybe some people are wondering like, hey, are we going to see you in like retailers, REI, whatever? Yeah, eventually, I think that is a direction I would like to go with this. For now, I just kind of want to keep things simple. I don't want to overcomplicate it. Selling on my website directly to customers is kind of just like a very streamlined way of doing this, especially when the team is just me. Like Cleantrek is just me right now. I don't have anyone to like delegate to. So I like keeping things simple. But yeah, I get out there when I can. The Yosemite facelift, I think, is worth just giving a little plug. There's such a cool event every year up in Yosemite in September timeframe for about 5 days. They put on this event where they basically give out like trash grabbers and burlap sacks, and anyone at the park can sign up. They get these tools, they go out, they pick up litter and bring it back, and then they weigh it, they log it. And it's just this cool, like collaborative community-based event where everyone's picking up litter together here. So I showed up, I got my tent, I posted up and met tons of people, got lots of great attention there. Just showing off the prototypes, getting a bunch of feedback. We had like a litter cleanup challenge. People were picking up litter as fast as they could. And so yeah, I got a lot of really good attention there, a lot of interest. Late pledges are still open. So essentially you can still get in on the Kickstarter. You can still become a backer just as if it were during the live campaign. Nothing's really changed. I appreciate anyone's support with this Kickstarter, right? Every additional backer I bring in just makes this product launch so much easier. And I also want to add, like, if these particular litter cleanup tools aren't for you, like not everyone hikes with trekking poles, right? Like I'm not trying to sell this to anyone per se, but I've got a lot of other litter cleanup tool ideas too. Like I'm someone who's trying to innovate in this space just to make litter cleanup an easier, more enjoyable experience for hikers. And by having a successful product launch with these products, that'll enable me to kind of also branch out and make some other things too, right? Like my vision isn't even just for hiking. For me, it's like, how do we make it easier to pick up litter when you see it in your neighborhood, when you just kind of see it on the side of the street? Like, do you have something on hand to be able to pick this up? And so if you support that broader mission, I would just say I appreciate your support. It could be financial, but it doesn't have to be. You could also just like tell your friends and spread the word, and that's also incredibly helpful. So I'm not just asking for money. Obviously that helps. The other thing is that if you're not ready to back the Kickstarter yet, or just now's not a good time, I'm also going to be setting up a wait list on my website. Put your email down and I'll just shoot you an email when we're live, just so you know.
And again, if you want to get one of these, you still can. Link underneath the video. I'm not associated with this. I'm just sharing it with you because I think it can potentially make a difference out there. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully you found this interesting, helpful, useful, whatever it might be. Stay safe when you're going out there. Have a good Thanksgiving if you're here in the States, and I will see you out on the trails.